Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Slush and Huck here on Metalopolis. Now this game I believe is a BattleNet game, so there are no observers and apparently they're going to start talking already about MLG and the upcoming tournament in North Carolina? Over there on the East Coast, yeah, so a lot of the biggest names in StarCraft 2 will be there, including some of your favorite shoutcasters. I know Day9 will be there, HD and Husky will also be there as well, so congrats to them for getting invited out. Huck now spawning over here at the 6 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have Slush spawning over here at the 8 o'clock position, so... Okay, apparently I'm trying to read some of this conversation and it's pretty funny. Back over here, we do have an Overlord now moving out from Slush. So Slush is now moving in with this Overlord and able to just continue to push in and able to and will be able to find Huck very, very early. Now the key is going to be if Slush is going to be able to spot this Nexus in time and if Huck is going to be able to spot that Overlord. And oh, he does spot this Overlord, so Huck will know where Slush is. This Overlord now making its way over, and I do not see any sort of gateway yet. So instead of going for a 12 gateway, going for a 13 gateway. 13 gateway, much more of an economic game as you continue to chrono boost past your you can just continue to straight chrono boost after your 12th probe, and that gives you a little bit of additional mining. And there we go, there's another probe being trained up by Huck. So Huck may decide to continue to chrono boost as well, or he may opt in to get some sort of zealot play. There is a lot of wide opening here on this map. I'm kind of interested on how he's going to create this front door and tie it off, putting down a second pylon and putting a pylon here, and then does that mean that there's going to be a slight opening here, which he will be able to hold off with 2 zealots most likely. Back over here, we do have a probe now walking around, and this was some sort of 14 spawning pool, and now Slush is also sitting on a large amount of minerals. So where is that hatchery gonna be placed? I'm not 100% sure. And oh my goodness, I feel like I need to sneeze. Yeah, outtakes today galore. Slush over here now training up a queen as this drone now moving to this low ground, and this probe is going to decide to block him. So Huck annoying Slush with this probe here, and now Huck just going to dance around in that position. There is going to be a cybernetics core, and it looks, oh, that is the opening right there. So so he's going to finish the wall off with the cybernetics core, and then the building in between that gateway and this pylon right here is the perfect size for one zealot to sit there. We do have a hatchery now as those Zerglings were able to force back that probe. So Slush getting that a little bit late on that economic game, and now transferring some drones to the extractor. So this is a very, very interesting strategy by Slush. Not exactly sure what the how exactly this is going to work, because this is a very, very late gas. Zerglings really need that movement speed upgrade. Only a 2.95 movement speed. They are faster than Zealots, and I believe and a little bit faster than Stalkers, but really Zerglings want to get in front of their target and try to do some sort of surround. There is going to be Zergling now moving up that ramp, sees that Zealot there. There is one Overlord trying to move away, and will it be able to get out in time? One Zealot trying to push back. Zealot going to go ahead and hold in that position again. One Zealot and one Stalker will be able to hold off that position for quite a bit. Huck has not gotten out. Now going for a Stargate. So we are going into a Stargate play. So it's going to be interesting to see if he tries to go for Void Rays or Phoenixes. I have not seen Huck's one gateway into one Stargate build yet, so I am curious as to how he's going to work this out. Back over here, we do have a hatchery now completed, and with this queen, we'll be able to spawn larva in just a moment. There is upgrading to tier 2 as well, so we should see either a Hydralisk Den or Mutalisk. Mutalisk would probably be a bad choice if it is going to be Phoenixes, but if it is Void Rays, then Hydralisk Den would probably be the better choice as well. So all in all, it should be fairly interesting how this all is going to work out as a warp gate now being researched as well. So both players now just playing a game of sim StarCraft and trying to build and trying to get a very, very strong economy going. Huck sitting on 27 harvesters and also mining twice the amount of gas, 224, 240 gas every 60 units of time. And now in the back is a Baneling nest. So kind of interesting that Slush was talking about a Baneling bust with with Huck this whole entire time, and how he lost to a noob, and now he's going to be trying to do some sort of Banelings. Banelings are not seen that often against Zerg. sorry, against Protoss. Protoss normally with Stalkers are a lot stronger against Baneling Bust. Also, Stalkers have a wider radius, so the splash damage does not deal as much. But now Huck already moving out with one Phoenix. That Phoenix with a very, very rapid attack rate of 1.1. Well, yeah, 1.1, very, very fast. We'll be able to shoot down that Overlord and perhaps try to hunt down some more Overlords as well. Back over here, we do have a Sentry now trying to take down this Overlord as well. So Slush is now getting Overlord hunted to death. Back over, looking for that any extra Phoenixes, and I do not see any Phoenixes anymore. So perhaps the Queen was able to shoot it down. No, the Queen was not able to shoot it down. So where is that Phoenix? Perhaps, oh, two Phoenixes sitting over here, and now going to try to do a little bit of pressure. We do have one Queen there, as those Overlords now just going to use that Phoenix walk to go after some of those targets. And as soon as a third Phoenix or a Void Ray is trained up, those Phoenixes can Graviton Beam and then shoot down another Queen. 3 Phoenixes in the air, simply destroying so many Overlords. Slush definitely in trouble now, as he's already lost, I believe, 3 to 4 Overlords, constantly using Larva to train Overlords. However, now we have Zerglings trying to do some sort of pressure, and we may get some Banelings, as there is a good amount of minerals and gas for that. Only, what, 25 minerals and 50 gas in order for a Baneling, so Slush may be able to just try to get more and more of those Banelings, perhaps try to bust down over here, take down these Zealots, and then have the Stalkers finish off the job. Back over here, we now have Phoenixes going after some of those, and now Graviton beaming that Queen. That Queen is in desperate need of a friend, and that Queen will get shot down. Oh no, I'm popping down in just a second. Are we gonna get another Graviton beam? Wait for it, no. Huck is not watching that over there. And now, there we go, gonna hook, yeah, Graviton Beam takes down that Queen, and now Slush, all these Overlords are in desperate trouble now. No extra Queens, but now we do see some Banelings, all those units are on hold position, and all of, oh, Force Field coming in, as those Banelings are starting to splash more and more. A lot of those units, oh, more Zealots getting taken down, continuing to splash in, as these Zerglings now trying to put pressure. Only 2 Stalkers, army is very, very low, as this Nexus has been completed, and these Zerglings will be able to peck away at it. Back over here, are these Banelings going to be able to run up and, oh, almost take down more probes, get another detonation off. There we go, as these Phoenixes need to come over here, but a Force Field trap by Huck, taking down so many of these Banelings. There are 6 Banelings still left in here, and down more of them go. Sentry's now in trouble, another Force Field. And wow, really minimizing the damage there. There is one Forge down here and 4 Phoenixes. Those Phoenixes want to Graviton Beam and perhaps try to take down some units. And things are looking very bad on both sides. One Phoenix over here. Slush is at 40 over 36 food. How is this game going to end? I'm not quite sure, as Slush now training up more Zerglings over here. And now Phoenixes are going to be able to hunt down even more Overlords. This is just a perpetual cycle. Slush needs to get, yeah, there's that Spore Crawler. Finally, 1 Spore Crawler in play, and 2 more Spore Crawlers coming into play as this Overlord gonna get shot down. So once again, supply lock 47 over 44. 2 Spore Crawlers now shooting their way at those Phoenixes, and that is gonna be the end. No, Graviton beaming and killing off a quick drone. And that may be the end of that. Overlords now need to hide in this position, or try to hide right over here, as there is the most amount of Spore Crawlers here. Zerglings were able to do some sort of Baneling and take down these 2 pylons over here. So Huck now needs to get even more pylons in position. So these Banelings now, these Zerglings now going to finish off this pylon over here. There's probably plenty of Graviton Beam energy as Huck finishes off the rest of those Zerglings. And wow, nicely done. So Huck doing a great job there. You can see their actions per minute are through the roof. 195 versus 144. Really brilliant play so far by both of these players. Both players dealing a lot of harassment, both players taking a lot of harassment. Army-wise, though, Slush is down to this last Zergling. Oh no, Zergling now taken down, but there is now 4 additional Zerglings. This pylon was down to 40 hit points, unable to finish this off. Huck has a large army of Phoenixes, and that is it. Now these Phoenixes are going to start pecking away at these Overlords once again, and Phoenix is just continuing to push and push. There are some Spore Crawlers now joining in on this fight, and another Spore Crawler perhaps needs to be positioned here. So wow, these Huck's Phoenix is just doing a great job of constantly harassing, as the main mineral patches of Huck is starting to run out. So Huck needs to take this expansion, as already Slush has this expansion over here. Harvester count wise, Slush mining at a faster rate because he's able to mine from more minerals. Zerglings doing the long run around this whole entire position. Phoenix is unable to catch up to those super fast Zerglings. Zerglings now be able to perhaps do a little bit of a push, but there's going to be Zealots and Sentries to receive them. And how did Huck get so much gas for this many Sentries and that many Phoenixes? Zerglings now desperately trying to run back home. Down goes one quick Zergling over there. No weapons upgrade that I can see of. We are getting the Groove Spines. Hydralisks are a very, very strong counter to Phoenixes, but the number of Phoenixes that Huck has, all I can imagine is Hydralisks being served on Graviton platters until those Hydralisks start outnumbering those Phoenixes. We do see some Zealots and Sentries now pushing through. There are also 2 Spine Crawlers, and will this be enough? And there is one Hydralisk sitting over here as this fight continues to push. We do have some Banelings now moving. I mean, this is also on creep, so this is not going to be good. Perfect force fields, but these Phoenixes are not picking them up. Not quite sure why they are not picking up those Banelings and taking them down. A lot of force fields now going after those Hydralisks instead. Hydralisks quickly getting shot down by all of those Phoenixes. Phoenixes deal 20 damage per shot or per round of attack against those Hydralisks. So 20 divided by 1.1, that's the DPS on those units, as these units once again falling back into position. What really, Huck doing a great job with these Phoenixes. 6 kills, 6 kills, 6 kills across the board, some of them with 4 as well. Huck only has 3 gateways and 1 Stargate, really staying on top of his macro, making sure that every single time he has enough and that cooldown is expired, he's going to go ahead and just try to warp in more units. So you can see should be warping in units in just a second, as these once again these Hydralisks just getting picked off by those Phoenixes. Back over here, no, he now finally has 4 over 4, so perhaps he's waiting for some additional pylons or trying to get some sort of other tech building. So production wise, we do have a Hydralisk and a robotics facility, and we are getting the Templar archives for Psystorm. Huck so far staying in this game with constant harassment with Phoenixes. Hydralisk unable to be masked. There are enough spore crawlers on the map to try to handle some of this. Perhaps one of these spore crawlers should be moved from here to here, and then that way these Hydralisks in transition will not be picked up and dropped and picked up on that Graviton beam and shot down by those Phoenixes. Phoenixes now moving over here will quickly spot this hatchery currently being built by Slush, but really Huck just trying to find more Overlords to pick off. Hydralisks and Banelings now moving out. We are getting the Groove Spines. Research has been completed. Level 1 weapons upgrade, and also a Spire. Not exactly sure what the Spire is going to be able to do, as Hydralisks now come in. Hydralisks do attack much more quickly, and Banelings are going to start detonating into that line. Are they going to be able to? Oh, yes. Able to pick off more units, as those Stalkers were unable to try to push their way through this whole entire fight. In come a couple of Sentries. Sentries not with that Guardian Shield, but a couple of Banelings have already gotten through and splashing in, taking down some of those units over here. Phoenixes are not picking up those. Oh, no. Phoenix is picking up Hydralisks instead. And wow, Huck able to just pick apart this army once again. Hydralisks pretty much being neutralized by Phoenixes. Stalkers now trying to finish off the rest of this fight, but the army of Huck doesn't. There's not enough up in the front. Too many Stalkers in the back. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between Slush and Huck here on Metalopolis.